Okay, guys, we are back. Till the Last Credit is back, coming at you guys with some good news. This is part two of our
Great
good
news,
news.
Don't
Great news.
understand.
Some fucking fantastic news, man. This is part two of our good news, bad news segment, where we're talking about good news and bad news. Our last segment was on Phil Lord and Chris Miller departing the Han Solo film, but this one's about some good news. I'm Darren Jr. I'll be your host today, and I'm joined by Miller Farrell. Miller, how you doing?
Pretty good.
And Dylan, how you doing?
Really fucking good.
So, yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. Today, it was reported by The Hollywood Reporter, they are reporting a hell of a lot tonight, that Damon Lindelof is in early stages of development for a Watchmen television series for HBO. If you don't know Lindelof's work, he is famous for television series Lost, and he's also recently finished his run on the HBO series The Leftovers.
Yes.
Miller and Dylan are huge fans of that show. I'm
Damn
about
right.
halfway into the second episode of the first season, so I'm getting there. They've recommended it very well, and so far it's pretty good. An official deal has not been placed yet on this television show. It's in early stages in development. HBO and Warner Brothers haven't. They declined to comment to THR. But this project, we do know about this project. It has been rumored and also has been in the works in one form or the other since about 2015 with Zack Snyder. He talked about it. Talked about doing it, possibly doing it. So Dylan, you're a huge Watchmen fan. Most of us are here. How do you feel about this? You're not only a huge Watchmen fan, you're also a huge Lindelof fan. How do you feel about this news?
Thank you, God, for the Hollywood Reporter, because we came off this tragic news about Phil Lord and Chris Miller leaving, and then they turned it into one of the best days of my fucking life. This is like my favorite piece of news since Mel Gibson was rumored to direct Suicide Squad 2, or was in talks to direct Suicide Squad 2. This is like groundbreaking for my fucking life. Like, oh my god, I can't even like put into words how excited I am. The Leftovers is, I go back and forth, but it's in my top 3 or top 2 favorite shows of all time. I absolutely love that show. Please go watch it. Go watch it. It's amazing. It's the most amazing fucking show ever. And I love Damon Lindelof. I love Damon Lindelof. I love Damon Lindelof. I love Star Trek Into Darkness. Prometheus is good, and Leftovers is fucking amazing. I haven't watched Lost, but whatever. And I never thought of this idea, but I wish I had, because this is absolutely perfect on every possible level. This is so perfect. He's just a perfect choice for this TV series.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I can't believe this is happening, Darren. You don't understand. Okay. Oh my god. I've been waiting for this fucking series since 2015 when they announced it. Because I remember when they announced it and they said that Zack Snyder was gonna be a consultant on it, and they were looking for a writer, and they said it was gonna be on HBO, and I was just like, yes, fucking give it to me. Everybody was like, no, fuck the show, and I was like, fuck you people, it's gonna be great. And ever since then, it was just like at a standstill. Like, we never heard anything about it. And then this just fucking pops up 2 years after it was announced. This just pops up. And it's like, oh my god, this is happening. And it's so beautiful. And I'm just so fucking excited. I cannot fucking wait for this. Like, right now, Legion is the best comic book TV series ever, but it's gonna have some competition when Damon Lindelof's fucking Watchmen TV series comes about.
It's gonna kick the fuck out of Legion.
And we'll go into our like fan cast or whatever in a minute.
We'll go into that after we get everybody's thoughts.
I'm just gonna say this: I will be fucking shocked if Justin Theroux is not in this series.
Yeah, that's true. Justin Theroux would make a cool. There'd be a lot of really good clothes.
Yeah, Dylan does have. We're gonna after we get all our thoughts, Dylan has put together a fan cast. It's fan cast list for all the Watchmen. So we're gonna go through and discuss what do we think
that a lot of people don't agree with.
Which it should be fun. But Miller, you're also huge. You're also a huge Leftovers fan. You actually turned Dylan onto it, and you're a huge Lindelof fan, I assume, as well. And I don't like. What are your thoughts on the Watchmen film?
I like it. I think it has some problems, but kudos to Zack Snyder for and I don't remember who wrote that movie. Just that whole team for making that movie work as well as it did, because it could have been a disaster. But yeah, I think this news is pretty great because Lindelof, like, I know he found his niche with the show that he didn't have to answer a lot of questions with, but I think it also worked that with The Leftovers, because The Leftovers is based on a book, he's working with someone else's material, and he does a great job of, not that he doesn't do well in other places, but and I haven't watched Lost, but he does a great job of expanding on material and and adapting it in different ways, because The Leftovers, for those who don't know, the book is only based on the first season, and then 2 and 3 are what him and the Tom Perrotta, I believe, what they did with it. So I think this is really cool because HBO, they've had a good relationship with Damon Lindelof. They really trust him. They gave him one more season for The Leftovers. It's like, okay, yeah, this is your shot to finish the show, and he nailed it. So I think I think this is I don't have a ton to say on it, but I think this is a great idea, and I can't wait to see how it develops. Zack Snyder not being a part of it, I think is fine. Like, it was interesting, but we got Zack Snyder's take on Watchmen.
I think he'll be.
Now
Did they specifically say he won't be a part of it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, damn.
I mean,
I figured he'd be some kind of consultant.
I mean, they might. I mean, maybe in some way, but but I mean, I think it's fine because I would have been fine with the Zack Snyder Watchmen series on HBO, but now we're getting someone's different interpretation of Watchmen.
Yeah, I never wanted him to be like the creator or main writer of that show. I would just like, if he was like a consultant, like that, yeah, that's cool, but I can't see him being the creator or whatever. And you brought up a good point, Miller, when you were saying how he's really good at expanding upon stuff and how The Leftovers was just a book about the first season and then he continued it. I think that could actually be really interesting if the first season of the show was the graphic novel and then he continued it somehow. But I think that would be interesting, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't actually thinking that exactly, just how he adapts it, but that's an interesting... Or, I mean, I was kind of thinking that, but I'm not sure if they actually go with that. But,
even though, like, the ending to the comic is, like, perfect, but the ending to Leftovers Season 1 is perfect, too, and then he made it even more perfect in Season 2 and 3, so...
Yeah, I mean, Damien Lindelof, from the article that THR released, he is a huge fucking fan of this novel. He said
that helped.
Yeah, that helps a lot, and he said that, it's inspired him through all of his works, the nonlinear storytelling, the complicated heroes. It's really inspired him. Like I said, I've only watched the first episode of The Leftovers. I know it was a lovely pilot. I'm a little ways into episode 2. But Damien Lindelof, the only thing I don't like about him, he's a guy, and he's found his niche with this. And this doesn't even apply to Watchmen, really, but it's just as a writer for him, I just don't like how he's a guy who just sets up a lot of questions but never really delivers the answers. And I know that works in something like The Leftovers because you don't need half of that stuff answered.
To be fair, he did deliver some answers with the leftovers.
I don't
just
know.
Not every single one.
But but I'm talking about some of his stuff in Lost and some of his stuff in Prometheus. I like Prometheus, but at the same time, it's just
that was on Ridley Scott, though.
No, it wasn't. I don't.
Bullshit.
That was mostly on Ridley Scott.
No, it's not. He said it himself.
No, it was not.
It was not only on Ridley Scott. That was also on Damien.
I said mostly.
Not mostly. It's not even. That's not even mostly. That's on Lindelof as well.
Fuck you too.
He wrote the movie as a trilogy, and he was just like, "I'm setting up this, and we're going to answer that, this, and it's just like you have to answer something."
Damon Lindelof fucking killed it mostly with the leftovers, but he's had some other problems, so I'm really curious to see how this goes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, this. I like the idea of this being this can be. I love the Watchmen movie. I have not seen any of the extended cuts. I don't really like extended cuts of movies unless
But you haven't seen the extended cuts?
No, I have not seen these. I only because I'm a huge fan of the graphic.
Wait,
novel.
You didn't do the commentary with us?
No, I wasn't.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
good memory, Dylan.
No, because I'm a huge fan of the Watchmen graphic novel. I read it in 2009, so I was 13. I read it around the time Damien Lindelof read it. I was 13 years old. And it was a really dense book, but it was also just so... that's one of those books I read every single year. I just loved it so much, and I love what Zack Snyder did with that film. That he adapted it in such a great way. But I just feel like a nice 12-episode miniseries would be awesome, because you can just unleash all of these other characters that we didn't get to see in the film, and just unleash all the side plots, and just HBO premium network like HBO doing this could be great. And then how Miller said, just someone else's like I said, love Zack Snyder's adaptation, but it's just someone else looking at these characters in a different light, because I do still have problems with some of the decisions Zack Snyder made, but just someone else taking this on. Maybe we can see a giant squid, but
just don't do I was about to say that. Don't do a fucking giant squid. Damn Lindelof, please, for the love of God.
He's already written. I don't think there's anything wrong if he did a giant squid.
He's already written one in with one movie, but
works in a comic book, doesn't work on screen.
How do you know it doesn't work on screen?
Because it's such a stupid fucking thing. It's just I just can't see that working on screen. It's
I would imagine Damien Lindelof having a squid that causes nightmares for decades for people because it was so horrifying. That's something Damien Lindelof would do. I want him to do that so bad. That is just so.
You can make people have nightmares for decades and have it without a
Damien Lindelof probably had those nightmares too.
Yeah, but anyway, I think this is a fantastic idea. Overall, I do not want him to expand upon it because of the ending. The ending of Watchmen is something that just needs to be left alone. It is
it is perfect. Like I said, it is perfect, but the ending to The Leftovers season 1 is perfect too, and he expanded upon that in a way that really fucking worked.
I haven't seen it. But,
yeah, but
I know, but I'm just telling you, it is perfect.
Well, did they have a season 2 in mind?
I mean,
because there's a lot of perfect endings to a season 1. You don't, but
I think they did. People just didn't know when they were doing it, because I remember when season 1 ended, people weren't sure if they were going ahead with it.
Yeah, but I think just Watchmen, the point of that ending is to leave it alone, just to leave it to your imagination. Dropping that journal in there.
And I'm sure he, as a fan of the material, respects that.
Yeah, exactly, because it's just did they open it? Did they not? Did they find it out? Is
I mean,
humanity...
they could do more subplots. I don't know.
Yeah, because
is they could do with it in between, but just getting to the similar ending or the same ending.
Yeah, because it's either humanity is doomed or humanity can just go on. So and it's all up to that fucking kid picking up the mail. But yeah, this is pretty exciting. But let's go ahead and get into Dylan's fan cast. Dylan did a few fan casts, so he's gonna break some of those out, and we're gonna see what we think.
Oh, if I gotta pull
Darren, do you expect to like Dylan's fan cast?
I saw a few of them, and some of them I did like.
Some of them, ooh.
I know there's one that he really didn't like.
There's one of them that I think Dylan is fucking crazy.
First time hearing about it before, besides one, I think.
I'm sorry, Darren, I just think, there's just, I just can't, it's too perfect. Okay, so first, for Night Owl 2, Dan Dryberg, I have Justin Theroux. I think that would be great. And honestly, he looks a lot like the character, to be honest. And he kind of has.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Well, I was just gonna say he kind of has that thing. He really wants to. He seems to want to do like the right thing or whatever. But what were you gonna say, Darren?
I mean, you have to fat him up a little bit because he's not.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotta get big. Yeah.
He has to get really big. He has to get kind of.
But I don't really.
He's an actor, though. They do.
Oh no! I'm not saying he can't, but like that's what I'm just saying. Like to require of that, he has to get a little fat. He has to get a little ugly because the point of Night Owl 2, he's not. None of these heroes are in their prime. Night Owl 2, he's a little fatter. He's a little pudgier, and he's now just getting back out there. So he's not gonna. He doesn't need to look like Justin Theroux. That's what I'm trying to say. He needs to like.
Again, I will get to this later with another fan cast of mine, but it's. I don't really judge like when I'm looking for a fan cast. Like if they're like if this person or whatever actor or actress is like really skinny and the character is really muscular, but their personality fits exactly for that character, I would want that person to play them and just beef up a little bit. But because I want the personality of the character and not necessarily just the look.
So you think Justin Theroux can pull off that hopelessness, the awkwardness?
Yeah, I do think he can.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but you know, it is what it is.
Next up, Silk Spectre or Sally Jupiter. I have Evan Rachel Wood. She's a great actress. She's great. I mean, she's already been on HBO with Westworld. And honestly, I think she looks a lot like Sally Jupiter. What do you guys think?
Miller, you go first.
I'm good with that. I just thought of someone I think could be cool for another part, which I'll get into. But yeah, I'm good with Evan Rachel.
Okay. Well, do you guys want me to go ahead and go through the whole thing first, and you guys?
Yeah, I'm fine going.
No, I like how.
Yeah, I just realized I changed her fucking name, but
Great job.
But yeah, Evan Rachel Wood, sure. Yeah, why not? I think she can do the damaged. As we've seen from Westworld, she can do the damaged female character thing. So yeah, I don't mind it.
For Rorschach, I have Christopher Hivju. He also known as the redhead guy on Game of Thrones that crushes on Brienne of Tarth. But
Fate of the Furious, right?
Yeah, he's Fate of the Furious. Yeah. Okay. He definitely has the voice for it. If you've watched Game of Thrones, and I like him as an actor, and I really want to see him do a role like this, and I think it could be something really cool for him to do. And he's already been on HBO, obviously, like most of the people I have on this thread. And he looks like the character. He just needs to be a little more skinnier, I guess. But,
Lena Dunham for Silk Spectre.
Oh my god! But yeah, I think you could pull it off.
She was on HBO.
And moving on, this is getting into the ones.
Oh wait! I didn't. Christoph. He's fine.
I'd prefer someone else.
Yeah, he's fine. He has the red hair, but
him.
Okay. Yeah. This is
2 out of 3 so far. Or yeah, it's good, Dylan. 2 out of 3. There you go.
This is getting into the ones that I think that you guys will probably disagree with.
Oh.
This is for Dr. Manhattan or John Osterman. I have Paul Rust. Paul Rust is on Love. He plays I just forgot his name, but I think he could really pull this off. John Osterman, I mean, he's a scientist. He is a nerd, and I think Paul Rust, I think he looks a lot like the character, to be honest. And I think he's a really talented actor, and I think this could be a breakthrough performance of his. I kind of think he has the voice a little bit of John Osterman, kind of like from the Watchmen movie, and that's how I kind of envision Dr. Manhattan now. But yeah, that's it.
See, I'd say. Oh,
go ahead, no.
I'd say I like Paul Russ. Not sure about that casting, but I'd say make Justin Theroux Dr. Manhattan, make Paul Rudd Night Owl.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
I feel like, yeah. But, I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I like Paul Rudd, but I'll be open to that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't have no idea who this guy is, so...
Have you seen, what's that movie called?
Glorious Bastards.
No.
I have seen
Glorious
Bastards.
Yes, but I'm not sure if I'll remember him for that movie. The I Love You, Beth Cooper?
No. Oh, wait, was that him?
Yeah, that was him, the main guy.
Oh, no.
I mean, he's grown up. He's grown up since then. I say watch Love, and then you'll get a good
Okay, yeah, I'll watch Love, I guess.
Determined of who he is.
I mean, he'll be a CGI character anyway, so...
Yeah, for most of it, yeah.
And moving on to my next choice for the comedian or Edward Blake, I have Woody Harrelson. Now, Woody Harrelson, of course, was on True Detective, so he's already been on an HBO show, which he played, I guess, kind of a badass at some points, but also a real asshole that had a charm to him, which are important characteristics to the comedian, but he's played a real badass before, and I think he really pull it off. He definitely has a personality. I think he doesn't really have much looks, but I can still see him.
Yeah,
I agree.
I especially after seeing... I mean, I thought you were going to say something crazy like David Thewlis, but after
That's perfect.
after seeing trailers... After seeing trailers for Rise of the War of the Planet of the Apes, I can definitely...
Rise of the War of the Planet of the Apes.
Right, whatever. After seeing trailers for Rise of the War, whatever it is, the third one... the third one in the prequels, I could definitely see Woody Harrelson as the comedian. I think he has that charm about him. He can also be very slimy. You can also feel sorry for him. He's a sympathetic character, so I think that would be a good choice for. And he can also, he can pull off that badass Tallahassee, but that's definitely something that could work.
And he's in Han Solo too.
Yeah, connected it all back together.
I agree. I think he'd be a great choice for the point everyone's listed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Miller,
moving on.
yeah, Dylan, what was your next choice?
Moving on to my next choice for...
We have another choice?
Yeah, there's 5 characters, Miller.
And for my next choice for Ozymandias or Aldrich Videt, I don't fucking know how to say his name. Vided? I don't know. For Ozymandias, I have David Thewlis.
The crazy thing is that would actually, that actually would not be bad. That would be better than someone casting him as the comedian. I will say that.
Yeah, but... shut the fuck up. Anyways, for Ozymandias, I have Dan Stevens. Dan Stevens is a fantastic actor. He's been in The Guest, Legion. He's absolutely amazing on Legion. I hope he gets the Emmy nomination. And he's played the villain before. He played the villain in The Guest. Somewhat spoiler alert. And he played the villain kind of in a couple episodes of Legion, depending on, I guess, how you look at it. And he's absolutely fucking terrific at playing the villain. It's incredible. And he's British, and he has blonde hair, and I think he could really pull it off, I think.
See, Dan Stevens, to me, this is your best casting. Because Dan Stevens, I could definitely... Yeah, this is something I really hope HBO somehow finds and just it's just like yeah, we got to do that. Like, maybe it can be like the Rihanna and Lupita thing. Or like, you know, they, like, Ava DuVernay saw that, and she was just like, I'm making a movie out of that. So definitely something Dan Stevens. He has the type of charm where he's not going to come off immediately as a villain, which is important. That's one of the things I did not like about the Watchmen film. It's like, as soon as you saw Matthew Good, you're just like, he's the bad guy. But in the book, like in the graphic novel, you don't really know Ozymandias is the bad guy until the very end. So I really hope they can do that with him. He definitely has the physicality, he has the looks, he has the charm. So I think that'd be something perfect for him to do in the HBO show.
I agree. I think he'd be a fantastic choice, and it's definitely the best casting on Dylan's list.
Yep, and Dylan, that actually wraps up your list. I liked a few of those. I didn't like all of them, but I liked a couple of those.
Most of them.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying most of them were good.
Yeah, and I do agree with you, Justin.
With Darren.
I do agree that Justin Theroux probably will show up in one of these.
Hopefully.
Justin Theroux or Theroux?
Theroux.
Well, yeah, he's probably going to show up. So, and Evan Rachel Wood, she's growing on me. She is growing on me, that choice. So yeah, with all that being said, unless any of us have anything else to say about the Watchmen coming to HBO, what do you guys think about Watchmen possibly coming to HBO? Please let us know in the comment sections below. Also, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you like hearing us talk about movies, argue about movies, David Thewittis, please hit that subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button. Dylan, where can people find you?
At OG_NDB on Twitter and Instagram. I was gonna make a David Thewittis joke. No, I couldn't think of one.
And you can also find Dylan. You can find Dylan and Miller doing a Transformers: The Last Night review later this week. Miller got a chance to see it. Miller, where can people find you, and give us a little taste of what you thought about the film?
Movie was awful, and you can find me at Miller Farrow on Twitter.
And you can also find us at an airport fighting over David Thewittis.
You can also find us on our Bad News podcast, where we did another podcast about some bad news that happened today about Phil Lord and Chris Miller leaving the Han Solo podcast. I mean, the Han Solo film. You can also find me here at Till Less Credit. You can find me at Darren Leslie Jr.'s Reviews, where I did a review for Raqqa, Neil Blomkamp's new short film. And you can also find me at Darren Leslie Jr. on Twitter. And with all that being said, this is Till Less Credit, signing off, and we'll catch you guys next time.